71.
Because that's what they scored.
No, they scored 71. Because there was a no ball in the last over.
Okay. I'm sorry now.
So, welcome to the chase, where we're just trying to sort out the total that Sussex have to score to win. They need 72 to win. We've just got to get 71 up on the scoreboard, because the scoreboard isn't kind of behaving itself particularly well. Whilst we keep finding that it's almost impossible to make the internet stand up running two systems for some reason. It's pretty rubbish. It's now got 71 up on the board, which is the score, the agreed score. Everybody's happy. Sure, the umpires could have just gone, well, we know it's 71 without having to have it up on the scoreboard. Anybody who's listening can listen. Hopefully people live know where we are. So Mark Oliphant will face the first ball again, and Mark Bond is at 2. Joe Harrison is running, and is this Tox or Bilal bowling? Bowler's name from somebody from Lancashire. Give us a bowler's name. Bilal, yes, because I never know whether it's Bilal or Tox. So it's Bilal to open the bowling for Lancashire, with Mark Oliphant on strike and Yvonne Dolphin Cooper at the bowler's end. John McLean at the striker's end, and comes off Mark Oliphant's legs, but this time not in front of the stumps. Umpire says not out, so it's a better start than Mark had in the last game when he was half out LBW first ball. This one is straight through to Bradley Newton behind the stumps. Yes, but that was a no ball. And Mark's got hold of that and sent it down towards fine leg. Taz is after it. He's hauled it in just short of the boundary, but they've easily got through for 2 runs and 4 scored. So they've raced to 5 off 2 balls. And
was that boundary off the back?
Yes.
Did it go to the boundary?
No, it didn't go to the boundary. It's just the ran to.
Okay.
So,
No ball.
yes, totally 6. Yes. There's been a 4, a no ball, and a wide. And to wide. And so 7 from the first over. And no ball.
No ball, yeah. Then he ran, that's a 4 because of total, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah, 4 there, 5, 6, 7. That'll do it. Okay.
Yes.
Got it.
And Taz seems to have the ball down at the far end. Tahsin Sabir. Tahsin. Yep. You want a team list, don't you? You've not got a team list? There's a team list. Always essential if you haven't got it on the computer. So Taz coming in off a fairly long run to Mark Bond, who's looking around, checking where the fielders are, where the gaps might be. There's a heat keeping. I'm not quite sure why Bradley was keeping that first over. Mark stuck on the leg, outside the line though, and that's dot ball to start scenes over. Yeah. And comes in, Mark plays that back. Just about straight to the bowler. Taz fields off his own bowling, and there's no run. Sussex, of course, in no great rush to score. To be nicked onto his legs. There were some few arms thrown around, but no audio appeal that we could hear, and no run scored. But good start from Taz with 3 dots. And then Mark just gently prods one into the leg side, and this fielded by Nathan. So 1 run, and Mark Oliphant now to face Taz for the first time. And he gets this away, same direction that he got the ball away last over, down towards the fine leg. And this time they have run 3 as Tokia and Nathan tidy up on the boundary. 3 run, 6 scored. And Mark Bond to face the first ball. So the last ball of the second over. So goes past him through to it's here who's behind the stumps. It's a dot. It's 14 off 2 overs. And yeah, obviously at this rate, the score would be chased down in 10 overs or thereabouts. Shiraz bringing himself on to bowl the 3rd over, so it's just the 1 over for Bilal. Shiraz Chauhan coming on to bowl.
Colour captain, yeah.
Yes. Mark Oliphant is facing. He's on 10 from 9 balls. And hoists that to square leg, and it's caught by Tazim. And Mark dismissed for a runner ball 10. Shiraz wicket with his first ball. Mark comes off. Joe Harrison looks as if he's going to continue running because Simon Ledwith is coming in to bat at 3. Simon Ledwith coming in to bat at 3. Again, exactly as happened this morning.
I can't see Simon on there.
Low partial. Si Ledwith. Simon or Si, they just call him Si maybe. Everybody just taking a little while to get the new batter out to the crease. Simon with his distinctive orange flashes on his footwear. Bradley Newton is limping around into the leg side. He's sending Taz back deeper on the mid-wicket boundary. Nathan Jakes is positioned very straight mid-off, back on the boundary. Lewis Gertz is in the covers, and there are 4 fielders plus the wicketkeeper surrounding the batsman. Bat onto leg and a dot ball. Some big shouts, but certainly from here looked like it was big inside edge onto Simon's leg. So big call from the keeper. Side off stump, steered by Simon out to Lewis at point for a single. Which means Mark Bond to face his first ball from Shiraz. The ball's come back to the bowler's end. Joe Harrison, Simon's runner, helping to retrieve the ball with Yvonne the umpire and give it back to Shiraz. Mark Bond again just checking where the fielders are and coming in perhaps a little closer for Mark than they were for Simon. Not quite sure why, as they've seen Mark score 50 this morning. And he gets that through square leg, and Bradley can only kind of hobble a few hobbles towards it, and nobody's able to chase it. Goes to the boundary. It's 4 runs, and we've got 2 left in the over. It's Mark Bond moves on to 5 with that boundary 4. Shiraz, I think, just changing his action, coming round the wicket by the looks of it. Must have been a really good, oh no, not a really good length, just too long because it's a no ball. And a free hit. And the free hit hits the wicketkeeper. Some kind of thought about whether there might be a wicket in it. Of course, you can't be caught on a free hit ball, so whether the wicketkeeper caught it or not is irrelevant. Joe Harrison again helping retrieve the ball and handing it to Shiraz to bowl the last ball of the 3rd over. Shout for the wicketkeeper. Shiraz bowls. Mark just prods it to mid-wicket. Bradley can't hobble in to get it. Taz comes in from square leg to field. And Mark has taken 1 run and kept the strike. The scoring rate remains solidly at 7 and over. 7 of every each of the 3 overs bowled so far. And Taz, it seems to be given a 2nd over after Bellal didn't. Taz Sabir is bowling again. Yes. Yep. No change at that right hand end. But, smart bond facing, haven't taken that single to keep the strike. And Mark Bond plays this out to point, and fielded there by Lewis, who throws it back to the bowler, and it's 1 run.
Is that bowler 2?
Bowler 2 has bowled 1 ball, yes. And brings Simon on to strike. So 1 run to Mark Bond, who now moves on to 7. Goes in, bowls, and that's well hit, straight back to the bowler, who has a shot at the stumps, misses, and as a result, they manage to get through for 1. And Taz back at his run, comes in up the stumps now, bowls. Mark Bond plays it out again into the covers. Lewis is chasing it quite a long way, and they're able to run through for 2 as that ball went much nearer the boundary than the first shot out through point. So and Taz again to point, this time straight to Lewis, and he's able to field and get it in to the bowler in a single action very efficiently. Single to Mark, and Simon Ledwith back on strike. And, 2 runs needed to keep up the perfect 7s. And well, it'll get easier if they bowl them wide.
So wide was it?
That was a wide. So Taz in bowling Simon. Simon gets it straight down the grounds. That's a tremendous hobble from Bradley to get to that ball and then throw it in. Limit them to one as it was lofted over him. I really thought that had got away from him and they'd get to 2 or 3 given his lack of mobility. But anyway, Taz in to bowl last bowl the over to Mark Bond, and Mark plays this out into the covers, and this time decides not to take on Lewis. It's a dot ball, or perhaps they knew they'd already got the 7 for the over and they didn't need another run. Consistently scoring at 7s. 4 7s at 28. 4 overs have been completed, and Shiraz to continue from the left-hand side as we look out from the scoring and commentary position. Quite sure. Looks as if, is he going back over the wicket? It looks as if he is going back over the wicket. Mark Bond standing nearer to us, so he's back over the wicket for the start of the over. Simon's on strike. He's not quite ready yet. His runner is just walking out to his position. We are now all ready. Shiraz readies himself with the ball, and a couple of paces, and Simon lofts it. A couple of bounces through cover. Lewis is after it. He's just hauled it in shy of the boundary and restricted them to 2 runs rather than a boundary. Big call from Zahid. Shiraz bowls outside off stump. Simon gets this one more through extra. I think that may have beaten Lewis and run away for a boundary 4. Indeed it has. So Simon's raced to 9 from 6 balls. Mark Bond, who's been there from the beginning, is 10 off 13, and Mark Oliphant contributed to 10. As the 3rd ball comes down, this is hits mid-on, fielded by Nathan, and yes! Mark Bond is run out, backing up too far.
Silly. Not concentrate.
And Callum Weir coming to join Simon Ledwith at the crease as Mark Bond is run out for 10 off.
Who's gone in? Sorry, Callum Weir.
13. Callum Weir has gone in, high partial. Shiraz bowling to Simon. A little bit leg side. Signalled by the umpire as a no ball, though a little bit too long. This is the 5th over. So Shiraz into bowl. Simon again skying it towards cover. Bradley's limping and body completely on the line to field that and throw it in
It's no ball.
Deep cover, 2 runs off a no ball.
Was that ball 2?
Simon has got 2, and straight at this time from Simon down the ground to mid off. Nathan is across to field from his mid on position, and 1 run is scored, and we're down to 2 to come. Callum Weir, the left-hander. Shiraz has gone round the wickets to him, and straight through to Mohammed Zahad. Simon's on 12, not 10. Callum is yet to score,
Okay.
and the total is 39 for 2. It's been a few no balls as well. It's high-ish for Callum, but he just manages to get bat on it, skews it out into the leg side. Lewis comes into field. 1 run is scored, and that's over bowled, and the total is 40 off 5. So they've suddenly accelerated the scoring rate up to 8 and over. 40 have been scored. They're more than halfway through the chase. 32 more runs are needed. Simon is on 12. Callum is on 1. And is
Too many injuries.
is this Bilal bowling again from the other end? Callum Weir facing, having taken the single off the last ball of the previous over, and this one he steers out into the covers, fielded by Nathan, and a single is taken. Brings Simon back onto strike. So Bilal comes in, makes sure he gets the 2 bounces in. Simon plays it away to mid-wicket. Nathan fumbles it away from himself as he fields, and so allows them to come through for 2. Ball's back with Bilal, comes in, bowls. Simon gets that away fine, through fine leg. I don't think Nathan's going to be able to, or maybe he will. The ball's perhaps going to stop short of the ropes, is it? I don't think it has. I think boundary 4 is being signalled. It is being signalled.
What's he signalled?
Boundary 4 is being signalled. 4 to Simon, who's now on 18. Callum's on 2. And the total is 47 for 2, and we're halfway through the 6th over. And this is better hit, but much closer to the fielder, who's able to dive and stop the ball, and it's just 1 scored. I've got 2 to come in the over as Callum Weir faces up to Bilal, who's in and bowls. Huge appeal. John McLean completely unmoved, and it's a dot ball to bowled at Callum. Yes, we're 2/3 of the way through the run chase. 48 have been scored, 24 more are required. Callum gets this through to short point, fielded by Nathan. 1 run scored. Sussex are 1 short of 50, and 6 overs have been bowled. And change of ends for Sassine as he's coming on from the left hand, the more pavilion end of the ground. Once he bowls this 7th partial over, we will then be needing 3 total overs from Lancashire to complete the 10. There are 23 runs needed from 14 overs, which means the required rate is just a touch over 1.5. We're expecting Sussex to win this game with 10 overs to spare. And from this end, Taz starts with a wide. And that brings up the Lancashire 50. Not necessarily the ideal way. Bowler changes his action and decides to come round to the left-hander. He's in and bowls. And that's down the leg side. It's, I think, missed everything. They're running through. Nathan had to go a long way. It's actually 2 runs. Must have got a little bit of bat on that. 2 to Callum. As in bowls. Well, that's there's definitely bat on that. It's out to mid-on. There isn't anybody there. Taz has to come across and field off his own bowling. Dives on the ball to stop it going past him. And 1 run is taken. Callum has moved to 6. As Taz comes in past umpire. Simon skies it to point. Lewis fields, and they take 1 run to bring Callum back on strike. Simon has moved quickly to 20 off 14 with 2 boundaries. Is this a boundary for Callum? Played into deep mid wicket? No, I think Lewis is going to put it in just short of the ropes, but Callum's speed means that they're able to run 3. Brings Simon back on strike. And, he plays this out to deep mid wicket as well. And this time they're comfortable enough to just jog through for 2. There's 1 ball left. Oh, Simon gives that a real belt, and it's stopped between Wood and not all the fields there. They don't manage to catch it though, so it's dot ball to end the over. It's 10 off that over. It's 59 for 2. Simon is on 22 off 16. Callum is on 9 off 8.
You've got 59.
59, 10 off the over. And Shoaib Nazir coming on to bowl from the far end. I suppose that's the Hugh Spence end of this ground, as it's reasonably opposite the pavilion. This is a total coming on. It does need to be a total. It'll need to be a total bowling each of the next 3 overs. If we need 3 overs, we've got 13 needed to win from 13 overs. So the rate is down to 1 run and over. The current rate is over 8, having been solidly at 7 for the first 4 overs.
So who do you say is bowling this one?
Shoaib Nazir, Nasir, Shoaib, total. Callum facing against Shoaib. So, call for the stumps. So, very strong ball, and it's a wide ball. And Sussex score ticks up to 60. Shoaib back at the stumps. Call from the keeper. It's 2 paces. Ball's in. It's tucked around the corner to Amjad. And he has been caught on the bounce by Amjad. Callum has been caught by Amjad. And
He went for
9. And Phil Daniels coming out to bat to join Simon Ledwith. With 5 to come in this over after the wide and the wicket. Big shout from the wicketkeeper bowler off his 2 paces, and that one is straight to Amjad, who is standing at slip to the right-handed batter. Sussex score up to 61. Phil Daniels diving to Singh, doesn't manage to stop it. And it's before Nathan can get round. It's through to the boundary, yes. Phil Daniels off the mark with a boundary 4. Jumps the score forward to 65. The number of runs required now in single figures. 7 needed to win. 7 needed to win. The score up is not the target. The score up on the scoreboard is the score from the previous innings, which was 71. So 72 needed to win. And Dave Daniels looks as if he's in a bit of a hurry to get them. Gets that round to backward square leg, followed by Bilal for 1. Simon back on strike. And, well, they could be 1 shot away from a win now, Sussex. But it would have to be a good shot, one clearing the ropes. As Simon just settles himself Just the bat gets into his batting crouch, and the ball goes behind his legs. Another wide. And we still have 3 balls left in the 8th over. As maybe the skies get a little bit grayer than they have, but I'm sure we will certainly manage to finish this game. That's over, only just over Lewis's head at extra cover, and he does well to grab it quite quickly and restrict the runs scored to 1. Well, we are now a boundary away, and Bradley does finally seem perhaps to be deciding that it's time that he stopped trying to force himself to run around with a clearly very dodgy leg. You can't defend 4 off 12 and a bit overs. Actually, Phil Daniels just wants the 1 ball to finish the game, as takes a boundary through square leg. Target's been reached. Yes, we would like to finish the game. Sussex Sharks have won by 7 wickets. It's finished with 72 for 3. So they took rather longer than they took in their quarter-final game, when they also needed to score 72, when they got it in 6 overs and didn't lose a wicket. So a stiffer performance from Lancashire than was offered by Yorkshire earlier in the competition. But well done to Sussex, winners of this year's BCW David Townley Memorial T20 Cup. And anybody who has listened to this, thank you very much for listening. If you listened live, especially if you listened live, thank you very much. If you've listened on repeat, I hope it's been entertaining and interesting, and we'll try and bring you some more blind cricket commentary in next season, and see if we can make sure that the tech allows the systems to stand up. See you soon. Bye.